His lips hovered so close, I could taste the heat of his breath before they even brushed mine. The way his hand gripped my waist, firm but trembling, told me he was fighting a war within himself just as much as I was. One more inch, and I knew there would be no turning back. My heart thundered against my chest, not from fear, but from the reckless thrill that always comes when you're about to do something you know you shouldn't. That was the moment I realized, I was about to betray everything I had built at home. My vows, my trust, my carefully painted picture of perfection. And yet, when his lips finally claimed mine, I let myself drown without a fight. Before I take you deeper into my story, let me pause for just a second. If you've ever felt the sting of passion mixing with deception, you'll understand me completely. And if you're listening now, please don't forget to subscribe to this channel, tap that like button, and share this with someone who loves true, raw, forbidden stories. It helps me keep telling you everything, without holding back. Now, let me take you back to how it all started. It wasn't the kind of encounter that looked dangerous at first. Just a casual after-work gathering, a glass of wine too many, laughter that lingered a little longer than it should. His eyes found mine across the table, and something inside me shifted. I don't know if it was the way he looked at me like he could read every hidden ache I carried, or the way his smile undid me more than it should have. I told myself I was safe, he was just a friend of a colleague, just another man in the crowd. But the truth? The truth is, even in that very first glance, I felt it. The pull. The danger. The deception waiting to bloom. And when I stood outside that night, the city lights flickering above us, and he offered me his jacket because the wind cut too deep into my skin, I knew my life was about to twist into something I could never undo. I never imagined a kiss could carry so much weight, so much danger. His lips had already tasted me, burned me, and yet I returned to him, knowing well I was weaving a trap around myself. I was someone's wife, someone's mother, someone's everything at home, yet in his arms, I wasn't any of that. I was just, me. A woman who still craved, who still wanted to be devoured. The nights that followed our first kiss blurred into secrets. I'd wake beside my husband, his soft snores filling the bedroom, and I'd feel guilt tighten around my chest. But then the memory of him, the way he pulled me into corners, the way his hands explored me without hesitation, would erase every ounce of remorse. I know what you're thinking. And yes, I should have walked away. But if you've ever tasted something forbidden, something that sets your soul on fire, then you understand why I couldn't. Before I dive deeper, let me remind you, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, hit the like button, and share this story. Because what I'm about to confess isn't just a story. It's my undoing. He would text me at odd hours, words laced with hunger, meet me tonight. And I always did. Hotels, the back seat of his car, once even in his office when the building was quiet. Each time I told myself it would be the last. Each time I swore I'd put an end to it. But his lips, God, those lips, made liars out of me. One night, after he kissed me breathless, he whispered, "You're playing with fire." I smiled through the haze of my own desire and replied, "Then let it burn." What I didn't know then was how right he was. Passion has a way of feeling endless, but deception? It has claws. And soon, I was about to feel its sting. His lips were already on mine before I realized how deep into the fire I had stepped. That night, the hotel room wasn't just walls and curtains, it felt like a cocoon that hid us from the world, from my husband, from the conscience that should have kept me grounded. When he pulled me closer, his breath was heavy, almost desperate, like he had been holding back for too long. And maybe I had too. His kiss wasn't gentle, it was hungry, reckless, devouring every ounce of hesitation I had left. My fingers trembled as they dug into his shirt, and in that trembling, I knew I had surrendered. "Do you know what you're doing to me?" he whispered, his lips brushing my ear. And God help me, I wanted to answer with truth. But truth wasn't safe. Truth meant admitting that every kiss, every stolen glance, every stolen moment was worth the risk of losing everything. Before I take you deeper, let me pause here. If you're still with me, if you're feeling the fire in my confession, please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to this channel. Your support keeps these untold stories alive. We made love as though the world owed us that moment. His hands searched every part of me, like he was determined to erase the parts that belonged to someone else. My body, my heart, my breath, they were no longer mine. But passion has a cruel way of reminding you of what you stand to lose. After the fire, when silence pressed between us, I stared at the ceiling and thought of the lies I'd have to tell. The lies I had already told. The lies I was about to weave tighter than ever. He kissed my forehead like a man in love, but deep inside, I knew what I had done wasn't love, it was an addiction. Dangerous. Consuming. Unforgiving. And it was only the beginning. His lips burned against mine, and yet, every kiss carried the sting of a secret I wasn't ready to confess. It was passion, raw and consuming, but beneath it, deception coiled like a venomous snake. I wanted him, oh, God, I wanted him more than I could admit out loud. But the truth of who I was, the life I still carried outside these walls, made each touch heavier than the last. Stay, he whispered, his voice low, almost pleading. His hands wrapped around my waist like I was his anchor, the only thing keeping him steady in his storm. And I wanted to stay. I wanted to melt into his chest, to bury every ounce of guilt in the heat of his body. But desire was a liar, and deception had already built a home in my chest. Before I go deeper, don't forget, if this story has you hooked, hit that subscribe button right now, like this video, and share it. Because what I'm about to tell you, you won't want to miss. The more I gave into him, the more I betrayed myself. Nights blurred together. His sheets became my hiding place, his body my dangerous comfort. But every morning I woke up, reality slapped me. I was a wife, a woman already claimed. There were moments I stared at him while he slept, tracing the line of his jaw with my eyes, thinking, what if I told him the truth? What if I admitted everything? But the fear of losing him, the fear of destroying the fragile illusion we had built, always shut me down. He started asking questions I couldn't answer. Why do you never stay the whole night? Why do you flinch when I mention meeting my family? Why do your eyes look guilty when I hold you too long? I kissed him instead of replying. I used passion as a shield, deception as my language. But passion can't silence doubt forever. One evening, after hours of devouring kisses, when sweat still glistened on our skin, he leaned close, brushing my hair aside. You're hiding something, he whispered. And I don't care what it is. Just don't lie to me. That sentence carved into my soul. Because lies had already become my second skin. Half of me wanted to confess. Half of me wanted to rip the mask off and let him see everything. But then I remembered the ring on my finger, the husband who thought I was home at a friend's house, and the life that wasn't mine to shatter so recklessly. So I pulled him close again. I kissed him harder, deeper, letting passion drown out the truth. And right here, let me pause again. Don't forget to subscribe, to like, and to share this story with someone who loves secrets and passion as much as you do. Because what comes next will burn hotter than fire itself. As much as I tried to hold him with my body, I could feel him slipping away with his questions, his doubts, his piercing eyes that seemed to see too much. And in that moment, I realized something terrifying. I wasn't just betraying my husband anymore. I was betraying him too. I remember the night everything came crashing down, like glass shattering on marble. The lies I carried, the secrets I nurtured in the hollow of my chest, they all began to suffocate me. His lips were still my weakness, my dangerous comfort, but my mind knew the deception was catching up. Stay with me, he whispered, his hand lingering against my thigh as if his touch could erase the reality of the world outside the four walls of that hotel room. I should have pulled away. I should have chosen sanity over desire. But instead, I leaned in. His kiss tasted like fire, reckless and consuming, and for a moment, I let myself drown. And before I take you deeper into this last chapter, let me pause. If you've stayed with me this far, if my story has kept you hooked, then don't forget to like this video, subscribe to this channel, and share it with someone who needs to feel the weight of passion and betrayal. It means everything to me. The truth was, my marriage had turned into a hollow performance. Smiles for friends, polite laughter at family dinners, but emptiness when the doors closed. With him, though, I felt alive, even if that life was borrowed, even if it was laced with danger. But lies have teeth. They bite when you least expect. That night, as we tangled in the sheets, his phone buzzed on the nightstand. I glanced at it, unthinking, and froze. A woman's name flashed across the screen, one I didn't know. One who wasn't me. The air turned heavy. My stomach twisted. Was I not the only secret? I pulled back, my breath uneven. Who's she? I asked, trying to keep my voice steady. He looked at me, caught off guard, then smirked, as if brushing it off could calm me. She's nobody. Don't ruin this. But in that moment, I realized the cruel symmetry of it all. I was lying to my husband, and he was lying to me. We were two mirrors reflecting each other's sins, feeding on deception, dressing it up as passion. The betrayal cut sharper than I expected. Not because I was innocent, but because for once, I thought my lies had meaning. I left that night without looking back, the echo of his lips still burning against mine. I went home to a husband who never suspected, to a bed that felt colder than it ever had, carrying the weight of betrayal on both sides. And maybe that's the real lesson of my story. Passion can intoxicate you, but deception, it poisons slowly until you can't tell what's real and what's illusion. So here I am, anonymous, confessing to strangers on this channel. Not for pity. Not for forgiveness. But because sometimes telling the truth, even if it's too late, is the only way to breathe again. If you felt my story, if you've lived your own version of it, let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. It keeps me brave enough to tell you more of these truths. Until next time, remember, passion is a flame, but deception, it always leaves scars. Fire in the end, my story was not just about stolen kisses and forbidden nights. It was about how passion can blind us, how deception can bind us, and how lust can make us lose all sense of reason. I was trapped between what my body craved and what my heart feared, between his lips and the lies I told myself. Every touch left me addicted, every whisper left me trembling, and every lie I told only pulled me deeper into his arms. And yet, I stayed anonymous, because if the world knew, everything I built would collapse. Kiss mark if you felt the fire of a love that wasn't yours to take, or tasted the sweetness of a kiss that carried danger, then you know my truth. This was my secret, my escape, my sin, and my surrender. Sparkles, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who believes in love, lust, and the dangerous games we play behind closed doors. Your support keeps these confessions alive, and trust me, there are more secrets waiting to be told. Because passion deceives. And deception always burns.